Today I'm with Brian. Brian, how old are you?
39.
So we're here in a park in Tucson, Arizona. Where are you from, Brian?
Safford, Arizona.
And how long have you been here in Tucson?
About 15 years.
Okay. Brian, how long have you been using blues?
I started using blues about 2 years ago.
What got you started with blues 2 years ago?
I got out of prison. I've been locked up for 3.5 years, and before that it was opiates, heroin, and the blues had just taken over the streets upon my release. So it took a little bit for me to like switch over to them. I still tried to use heroin when I got out, but it just couldn't find it or anything. Like blues just dominated the streets, and I eventually just switched over to them. It's cheaper, easier to get, and just way more convenient.
What's the biggest difference between H and blues?
The biggest difference, I gotta pick one, huh? It's probably the openness of it. It seems to be like it's way more accepted. Like everybody's just kind of getting along with it. Whereas with heroin, it was done a lot more behind closed doors. And maybe it's because we used needles with heroin. Most of us did. Here, you know, the blues, there's foils all over the ground right here. At every bus stop in town, you'll find a foil. It's probably got to be the openness of it and the casualness of it and the acceptance of it.
Because maybe a little blue pill looks harmless, huh?
Yeah.
Kind of like a little vitamin as opposed to a needle.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. It really is. It really is just. It just looks exactly like you said, man. It's just a little blue pill. It's not big. It's not. It's just a little blue pill, you know.
What about the lasting effect? I've heard that for the blues, the effect is a lot shorter. The high is a lot shorter compared to H.
Yeah. So with blues, the one of the biggest worries that I have, and a lot of people have about it, is that you don't know what you're getting each time. So one time you might get 5 or 6 pills and smoke them, and they might not do too much to you. You know, you smoke a pill, a half hour later you feel yourself getting sick, and then next time you go buy 5 or 6 pills, same guy, same bag, and third pill in, you or your buddy is ODing on it because they got a pill that was way hotter than the other ones and it had too much fentanyl in it. So it really varies on the potency of the pill, and it's so soon in this what's going on with them and stuff. It's too soon to be able to regulate the potency, I think, for the people that sell it, because it's exactly that. Some days I'll smoke a pill and it'll last me 5 or 6 hours before I need another one. And other days I'll smoke a pill and it literally will be 20 minutes before I need another one. So,
have you OD'd yet?
I don't know if I've OD'd. I don't know, man. I mean, I've blacked out. I've blacked out so many times. It's like a occurring thing, like at least like 4 or 5 times a week. That's how bad it is. And I mean, by blackout, I woke up in the middle of the highway numerous times with people like honking their horn, just laying in the middle of the road. I woke up literally last night down the street at Pet Boys, and my shoes were off, my hat was off, no backpack, didn't know where I was for like the first 10 minutes. So people came up to me, they drove up to me and asked me if I was all right, and I told them, usually I tell them the first thing I say is I had a seizure. So, and they just, okay, you need anything, and drive off. But it was literally that common for me and for a bunch of my friends who had used them to black out. And yeah, it's pretty serious, man. But as far as ODing, you asked about ODing, I've never been given Narcan. I've had people shoot me up with salt water and kind of like slap me back, and they said I was purple and stuff like that. But as far as actual going to the hospital on an OD, no.
Brian, what does your future look like?
Actually, man, I have an opportunity I usually avoid my family and my loved ones because I'm out here and I don't want to bring my stuff around them, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I have a sister who's involved with recovery. She went and did some time in prison, got out and changed her life, and decided she wanted to help people. And she works for CBI. I don't know if a lot of you guys know what that is.
Community Bridges?
Yeah. She's in Mesa. I have another sister in Sierra Vista, and they were all worried about me and wondering what's going on with me. And I reached out to her, and they offered me a place to stay. My sister just got on methadone, and she's working a program, and she has a 2-bedroom apartment, and they want me to come stay with her and kind of help her. She's sick. She has physical conditions and stuff, and get clean with her and try to figure it out down there. So you asked me what
does your future look like?
Oh yeah, I'm starting to kind of make myself see some kind of light, but before that, man, I mean, when you're out here and you're homeless and you're addicted to opiates especially, it's hope it takes on a different meaning because you live second to second out here. You don't live week to week or month to month. You literally have to live minute to minute, second to second. So it was bleak. It's bleak, you know. It's almost fictitious because you can work a program, you can do whatever you want to do, but if you don't want to get clean or you're scared of detox or whatever, you kind of lock yourself into your own prison. And you can go and do anything you want here. We're free to do whatever we want, but we're walking around in chains because of the opiate, you know, the mental part of it, and also we can't really do too much. If we don't fix every couple of hours, we get sick. So I believe that there is possibility for hope for every opiate addict or every person struggling with homelessness and addiction, but you have to look for it. And you have to, when you see it, hold on to it and let it grow into something, because it doesn't look like much when you really look at it, you know.
There's a reason why you reached out to your family recently. Maybe you're getting sick of this, huh?
Yeah.
Want something better?
Yeah. I just got out of pool. I've been out of prison for about five months now, and I've been in and out since I was 19, man. I've got like over 10 years in, and I just found myself back in the same cycle. And 2 or 3 months into my release, I realized that I came to a conclusion that I was going right back into the same cycle, and that 3 months out I hadn't done anything with myself yet, and it was just I needed to do something. So that's when I started reaching back out to my sister and trying to just maintain contact with her and keep tabs on my daughter and my family, and just to have that spark of hope, I guess, back to the hope thing, but that maybe something might happen, or there's something might happen, and I was just been looking for a chance to step out, to step out of the cycle that I'm in, and that's what I'm doing. So.
Why do you think so many young people are drawn to this lifestyle, being out here? You mentioned a little bit, you're free to do whatever, nobody bugs you. There's a certain level of, I don't know, maybe people feel comfortable, or I'm not sure. What do you think? What are your thoughts since you see so many people out here?
Well, I've been doing this for over 10 years, so I know what I experienced when I first started. And when I first became homeless, it was like an expedition, man. I'm from a small town, and I never lived in a city like this, and never been around so many people. So I came up here homeless, and it was just an opportunity to really see what the world was about. And I seen it as like, it was like I don't know, man, like just something about being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and you don't have any rules or regulations, only those that your own morals set before you, and that the law, I mean, you have to abide by the law to an extent, I guess, but to those that are appeal to that, I would just say to think about where you want to be in 5 or 10 years before you think about coming out here and just saying screw everything. It doesn't work like that, man. There's no secret to success out here as far as like being a drug dealer. You can have whatever you want, or being an addict, you just get high all day and you don't have to care about anything. Every problem is still there, and it's magnified. It's just that we pacify it with our addiction. But you'll still have all the hopes and dreams that you had when you were a kid before you became homeless or became addicted to opiates or any of it. It's still going to be there, and it won't be a joyous thing. It doesn't turn into be some joyous thing. You know, after years and years of doing this, you find out this is a dead end road. It leads to nothing but death and destruction. And you gotta really consider that and ponder that before you decide that, you know, getting a career or going to college or really making something of your life, man, to where you know, a park is something you come to take your kids to on the weekend or a cookout or whatever, not some place that you come to camp and live, because it's really not the business. I can say that.
Ryan, I firmly believe that a young person's going to watch this and they're going to listen to you. They're going to decide not to lose all the time you've lost being locked up, being out here living this, being a slave to opiates. So I want to say thank you very much for your courage to share your story. Please continue to reach out to your family so they can help you. Please help yourself. Thank you very much. God bless. Stay well, okay?
Okay, man. Thanks.